Yeah, I mean, I think there's a correlation there. I mean, a lot of the people building this system are people that are debt barons, essentially. I mean, BlackRock in particular had a really big role to play in the whole COVID monetary situation. At the same 2019 Jackson Hole meeting where Mark Carney talked about, the new financial system to come, is when BlackRock presented their going direct paper, which was the policy that was followed essentially and exactly when COVID hit. Just a few months later. And BlackRock utilizes debt to, increase its profitability and power and ownership of things around the world. And honestly, since debt's been such a big part of the control system for a long time, it's, the people that can control the most debt on Wall Street and stuff tend to be the most powerful and the most successful, right? Well, it seems like in Larry Fink's case in particular, there's a goal, a big ambition there to develop new asset classes that can be used to basically fuel their existing business model and perpetuate it for millennia forward. So one of these that I've been writing about for a few years is the whole idea of natural assets, what they call nature's economy. And one of the groups that has been sort of propelling this forward, at least one of the earlier groups, the Intrinsic Exchange Group, which is a product of the Rockefeller Foundation and the multilateral development banking system.
Whitney Webb, a controversial journalist known for her investigative work, has been sounding the alarm about the increasing dangers of surveillance and the new financial system which is upon us to control us even harder. She believes this new international monetary system will be the end of the old Bretton Woods system, and this one will be built solely on the blockchain. She believes the purpose behind this new system is total surveillance and censorship in every aspect of our life. As per Whitney, the major player in this plan are World Economic Forum founder Klaus Schwab and Emmanuel Macron of France. And when we look at the website of World Economic Forum, we can see that Whitney is totally right, as it is stated in an article that Schwab is convinced that we are at the beginning of a revolution that is fundamentally changing the way we live, work, and relate to one another, which he explores in his new book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution. According to Schwab, previous industrial revolutions emancipated humanity from animal power, enabled mass production, and gave billions of people access to digital technology. However, the Fourth Industrial Revolution differs significantly from the previous ones. It is distinguished by a variety of new technologies that are integrating the physical, digital, and biological worlds, influencing all disciplines, economies, and sectors, and even questioning assumptions about what it means to be human. The resulting upheavals and disruptions indicate that we live at a time of both immense potential and great peril. The globe has the ability to connect billions more people to digital networks, significantly enhance organizational efficiency, and even manage assets in ways that can assist regenerate the natural environment, perhaps correcting the damage caused by earlier industrial revolutions. Additionally, Whitney also warns about the potential risks associated with central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, being used as a tool for financial control. Despite the controversial nature of her reporting, Webb states that she continues her work out of necessity to expose corruption rather than out of bravery. When it comes to Bitcoin and the involvement of major financial institutions like BlackRock, Whitney Webb expresses skepticism and concern. She believes that the entrance of BlackRock into the Bitcoin space should be met with extreme scrutiny by Bitcoiners and investors alike. Webb argues that there is a fight being had right now about the future of Bitcoin, and people need to decide which side they are on, whether they will fight for Bitcoin to be a tool of financial freedom or allow it to be co-opted by the powers that be. Furthermore, Webb highlights the potential conflicts of interest, such as BlackRock's stake in Circle, a company issuing stablecoins like USDC, which can directly impact Bitcoin's price. She suggests that large financial institutions are moving towards tokenization and fractionalization of assets, using blockchain technology to create a universal ledger and encourage people to join a system with a universal ID. According to Whitney Webb, BlackRock and other major financial institutions are acquiring Bitcoin as part of a broader plan to gain unprecedented levels of control and influence. She believes their ultimate goal is to create a new financial system that allows them to own and control nearly everything while minimizing risk. Essentially, Webb sees the moves by BlackRock and others as an attempt to co-opt Bitcoin and the decentralized finance movement. Instead of promoting financial freedom, she believes they want to leverage the technology for their own benefit, ultimately ushering in a new era of financial control and surveillance over the population. Webb's views on the matter are certainly thought-provoking and raise important questions about the future of Bitcoin and the role of major financial institutions in the cryptocurrency space. While her claims may be controversial, they highlight the need for ongoing discussions and critical analysis of the evolving financial landscape. Now let's listen to what she said more about this in one of her recent interviews with Mark Goodwin.
And I think the World Economic Forum is misunderstood by a lot of people, and people use certain terms to refer to what they are and what they do. But ultimately what that group is about advancing the public-private partnership model. And of course, there's two sides to that, much like there is in the prevailing left-right paradigm of most countries' politics. And, for a long time, they've leaned sort of on the public side and used talking points that are meant to appeal to the political left, and have gotten a lot of pushback as a result. And so if you notice, people like Fink, but other people as well, have moved their rhetoric away from those seeking to appeal to the political left in the public side of the public-private partnership, leaning into the private aspect of the public-private partnership and having more right-leaning talking points. But ultimately, all are trying to lead you to the same exact system of digital ID, programmable, surveillable money, and global carbon markets. And I think, the carbon market in particular, it's sort of hard to extricate that from the climate change, situation. But I think it looks like, people like Fink and some of the people in that particular space are going to attempt to market it as something that can make people very wealthy or allow them to get quick access to capital by tokenizing their land holdings and fractionalizing their private property, using different things that haven't been able to be financialized before, and then bringing that on chain and using that as collateral, receiving loans that way and all of that. There's a lot of ambitious plans in that particular space. And aside from that, there's been this push led by the Rockefeller Foundation and some other groups through this whole push for natural asset corporations, where they basically openly talk about the idea to expand the amount of assets in the existing financial system by 5 or 6 fold by incorporating what they refer to as natural assets. So this is sort of like the financializing of the natural world and turning, allowing people to sell ecosystem services and all of that. And, this is part of the broader effort to usher in a global carbon market. So anyway, I think it's interesting that there's a lot of this shift going on. I think it's a big part of why someone like Javier Milei was given the main stage at WEF and then openly praised by the WEF that he was the WEF elites that he was supposedly scolding in that speech. They very much embraced, Milei's vision, and we're like, yeah, we should have the private sector lead the public-private partnerships and all of that. But ultimately, the public and the private, as represented within the WEF, agree about the plan. Maybe there's, how it's implemented or how it's sold to people. There's differences there, but ultimately they agree about where we're going in terms of digital ID. A global ledger and all of this stuff, programmable, surveillable money, whether it's private sector issued or central bank issued, ultimately the end results are somewhat the same, but there's an effort to sort of change the sales pitch for all of that. And you can see it in Fink and you can see it in other people.
You don't exist if you don't comply with them. This is what Whitney is warning us about, and this is not it, as there are few more points like there is a warning of an impending global financial collapse orchestrated by the global elites, which will be used as a catalyst to transition to the new financial system. She describes a future scenario where individual transactions are monitored and controlled, potentially limiting personal freedoms, such as the ability to purchase certain goods. Digital IDs are portrayed as a key enabler of surveillance, integrating various aspects of a person's life, including financial, health, education, and social media activities, into a comprehensive control mechanism. She also implies that the push for a green model and decarbonization is mentioned as part of the new financial governance system, with BlackRock positioning itself as a key player in this space, potentially leading to new investment opportunities and infrastructure changes. And that's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more.